call me a god. You call me a god.
What's going on, folks? We're back with another one. Yes, I'm in colors. It doesn't say it up there. I don't know why it doesn't say it up there, but this is, it says why 70s and 80s kids rule, but basically, this is why Gen X rules. Okay, this is The Ultimate Guide by Karen Morgan. I like the little thing here. But anyway, we're going to get ready to go. You ready? Let's do this.
One of these things is that we are strong people. We didn't even need sunscreen. We just laid out on giant sheets of aluminum foil with baby oil and iodine. Hawaiian Tropic Red Label. We put our chairs up on the roof to get higher to the sun. And we only turned over when the radio station told us to. Right?
Bad part about it is radio stations back then used to tell you to do that in the summertime. I don't know why.
We grew up in the way, way back seat of our mom's station wagon, just rear facing at the people behind us, just waving back there. Just waving. In Homewood Hills, our mom's station wagons were just aircraft carriers, just driving around there, launching kids left and right throughout the neighborhood. We had
Huge
12
cars.
kids in our carpool. 12 kids, 5 families, the Tillmans, the Barbers, the Kemps, and the Fowlers, and us. 5 families. Nobody wore
The fact that she remembered all those names and didn't sound like she was making them up, that's impressive.
a seatbelt. Not even in the front seat. If your mom's arm wasn't strong enough, you deserved to go to the windshield.
My mom still tries to do that.
Back then, we didn't have helicopter parents. In fact, we had the opposite of helicopter
Get your ass
parents. We did. We had Home Depot parents, where you think there should be someone working in the store that could help you, but there's no one around. You're on your own. This is Home Depot. Do you need a skill saw? There's only one left in the whole store, and it's way up there. So just grab yourself one of those rolling staircases, my friend, and crawl up there and get it yourself. But don't pull it over and cut your arm off, because no one will take you to the hospital. Here's what you get. Suck it up. Blow on it. Walk it off. Rub some dirt on it.
Yep.
Bleed over the sink.
Oh, that was a big one. Bleed over the sink. If you get any blood on this floor.
My mom's favorite was don't bleed on the shag carpet.
Not shag.
How about this one? Let the dog lick it, it'll heal faster.
You only heard that in Arkansas.
It's true.
It's funny though.
Nobody cared if we were bored. Nobody cared what our grades were. Nobody cared that we were eating lunch out of a lunchbox that was filled with unrefrigerated dairy products and rust. We had a rusty lunchbox. Never going out of business.
I brown bagged it.
Nobody cared that we were being pummeled in the face by real red rubber dodgeballs. The real red rubber, not the little foamy baby ones they have now.
No. If you knew how to throw, that was a good thing. And block, that was a good thing. If you didn't know how to do either, you're getting hit in the face.
Now, Coach Mike's PE class, right? You get pummeled. You could smell the rubber coming at you. And it just went twang when it hit you in the face.
Twang.
And then you had a crosshatch print right on your forehead, right there. No one cared. Nobody cared about the trauma of sea monkeys. Who had sea monkeys? I'm still not over sea monkeys. I'm not over it. I paid my $1.25 out of the back of the comic book. I was supposed to get the whole sea monkey family. The mama sea monkey and the daddy sea monkey and the baby sea monkey and junior sea monkey. They had tails. They lived in a castle. And they were supposed to come live with me and I could teach them tricks. That's not what we got. That is not what I got in my mailbox at 192 Pendleton Drive. No, I got 3 envelopes filled with disappointment, deceit, and dehydrated brine shrimp. Just a fishbowl full of bugs. It was awful. Nobody cared that that woman on Romper Room never said my name. She.
Oh. Oh. Oh, shit. Man. This in Romper Room. That was really petty, too.
Just a fishbowl full of bugs. It was awful. Nobody cared that that woman on Romper Room never said my name. She never said my name. And I watched it all the time. I finally stopped and I started watching Officer Dawn instead. In the ooey gooey bag. It was much more fun. Nobody cared that we were being hurt on metal roller skates. The kind that clamped on your shoe, kind of like that, right? You did get hurt because you went fast, because you could not go fast because the metal on the concrete kind of went like this. So this was as fast as you could go, but about the third, your foot came up out of that clamp, right? But the metal skate was still attached to your ankle with a little belt. So
that's just before my time, but I've seen what she was talking about. I've tried to put a pair of old ones on. Man, those they warped. Oh Jesus, they were a gimmick that tons of people bought.
Skate would ram you right in the shin and then knock you down. No one cared. No one cared that Lady Elaine Fairchild sounded a whole lot like Mr. Rogers. Right? Just, he just used a high lady voice. It was very confusing. Or that she looked like she'd been throwing back a whole lot of Beefeater gin martinis.
Damn.
It's true. Where do you think she came up with boomerang, toomerang, seamerang? She was day drinking behind the museum go round. No one cared. No one cared. Nobody cared that we were scared to death of Gene Wilder as Willy Wonka. He was scary as he sang that insane song while the Oompa Loompas rode the boat faster and faster and faster down the Chocolate River into that tunnel where we saw a chicken getting its head chopped off and a millipede crawling over some lady's face. And then at the end of the movie, Willy Wonka screams at poor Charlie Bucket in Latin, trying to get out of a contract through a legal loophole. A contract which, by the way, was not binding to begin with, because you can't enter a contract with a minor. But I didn't know that then yet, because I had gone to law school because I was 8. All I knew was that Gene Wilder as Willy Wonka was very, very scary. Even just going...
No, I started to watch the Willy Wonka with Johnny Depp in it. That was fucking scary.
To the movies back then was very different, right? We went by ourselves, right? Either our moms dropped us off, we rode our bikes, we walked up there. So if the movie was like G or PG, no problem. Here's some PG movies they have now. Moana, Monsters Inc., Frozen is PG. Here's a PG movie I watched as a child. Jaws.
Yep, 1979.
Jaws was PG. Oh, I didn't go by myself. I went with my neighbor, Margie Hodges. I was 11. She was 9. Our mothers just dropped us off up at Beechwood Cinemas, right, with $5 and said, have a great afternoon. So we went into Beechwood
Ours was a twin cinema. You paid $1 and got in.
Cinemas, and we bought our popcorn and our Raisinets and our Junior Mints and our Cokes. It was summer and there was not many people in there. It was just kind of us, and we went halfway down and halfway across. And Margie said to me, well, what's this movie about? And I said, I don't even know. I think it's something about going to the beach. Had we bothered to look at the movie poster on the way in there, we would have seen it say, the terrifying movie from the #1 terrifying bestseller, Over the Giant Shark. But we didn't look at the poster. No, our moms certainly didn't see the poster. They didn't even get out of the car. And in their defense, that back then PG-13 had not been invented yet. It wouldn't be invented until 1984. So I guess they thought it was
Good
okay
point.
for an 11-year-old and a 9-year-old to see Jaws by themselves. It was not okay. It was not. It's still not okay. I was okay
It's
at the
still not
beginning of the
okay.
film, like when the music first starts. I was okay. I was okay when pieces of Chrissy Watkins washed up on the beach. I was even okay when Alex Kittner got eaten in a spew of blood and rubber raft. I was okay. But I began to not be okay when Richard Dreyfuss was scuba diving at night and he's under that boat and the disembodied head of Ben Gardner rolled out of that boat onto Richard Dreyfuss. I thought to myself, I may not should be here. This might not be okay for me. And then when the little crab crawled out of the eyeball socket of Ben
It was crawled out of the mouth, but I understand what she's getting at.
Gardner's disembodied head, I jumped into the seat with Margie Hodges, where I remained the rest of the movie. Now, you might remember that the shark, you don't even see the shark until an hour and a half into that film. An hour and a half. So the music is what's scary and suspenseful, right? I remember sticking my fingers in my ears and my thumbs in my eyeballs and just mashing. I'm amazed I have vision, quite honestly. So towards the end of the movie, you finally see the whole shark, and he's chewing up Quint as the boat is sinking, right? And I turned to Margie, I'm like, see, it's not even real. So the very end of the movie, the shark explodes. Right? Spoiler alert, 1975 movie, shark explodes. We jumped up out of our seats and our popcorn went everywhere. We dropped our Cokes. We were not cheering because Richard Dreyfuss and Roy Scheider had survived. We were cheering because we had survived. We're never going out of business. Back then, school made us stronger. School made us. I'm going to show you this. I'm not giving you the finger, but I'm showing you. This is a permanent callus from a big black pencil from Miss Joyce Green's first grade class when we learned cursive. Right? There it is,
horrible.
right there. We our pencil boxes were actual cigar boxes.
Yeah.
No one cared. Nobody cared. Later on, we just got high as kites off a mimeograph paper. That was fun. Mrs. Faircloth would say, who wants to volunteer to go pick up the worksheets in the office? And I was like, me! Me! And you'd pick them up from the office and they're still wet. And just all the way
Wet.
back.
They're really wet and warm.
So good. Some of y'all sniffed some paper, I can tell. Bunch of paper sniffers. Our school did not have a school nurse. We just had a secretary who, if you got sick or hurt, you just sort of sat over in the teacher's lounge while they were smoking. And then
Yep.
the secretary spent a long time trying to find your mother in the days before cell phones or answering machines. You could be there all day long. And mental health was not a thing at all. Nobody even knew what that was.
Nope,
And this was later
nope.
on. I remember being in science class when the Space Shuttle Challenger exploded and everybody on board perished. My science teacher just turned off the television and went, okay, everybody turn to chapter 8, mitochondria. And we just went on with our day. Nobody
how it
came to our
was.
athletic practices. Nobody brought sliced oranges. And certainly no one was creating a play date for us, right? At 8 o'clock in the morning, here's how my mom did a play date. Y'all go outside and play. Boom, she'd lock the door.
Yep.
We were out there all day. We didn't have anything to eat. We didn't have anything to drink. We didn't have a juice box or any goldfish crackers. If we were thirsty, we drank out of the hose.
Yeah.
Never going out of business, y'all. And the water was hot, by the way.
Yes, it was.
And what-
You had to wait at least 2 minutes for it to get cold because the hose was usually on the ground in the grass. So you'd pick it up, turn it. I mean, it was.
What were we doing outside all day? Well, we were trying to kill each other. We had rock fights. We had dirt clod fights. We had green pine cone fights. And we had BB gun fights. Right? We were shooting each other directly with BB guns. Our parents knew it and no one cared.
Exactly.
They bought the BBs.
Exactly. And that's why everyone in the neighborhood had a BB gun. It was when the first pellet gun was bought that kind of ended that.
And on special occasions, we would ramp up to Roman candle wars or bottle rocket wars, and all my dad ever said was, don't shoot each other directly in the eye. Someday you might have to have an MRI.
Body shots.
We made Evel Knievel bike ramps out of plywood and cinder blocks. Right? Nobody
Couple cinder blocks. Man, it's looking nice. You hit that motherfucker.
wore a helmet. We're all still here. We wandered around our
We're all still
neighborhood
here.
like little hobos just for hours and hours. One time, Ashley Farrell and I were in Homewood Hills. We wandered so far away. We got real tired. We asked the Charlie Chip delivery van guy for a ride home. I said, we're tired. He said, get in the van. I got chips. So we went in.
That's just
And he
cold.
drove us home, and my mom just said, thanks. You know, it was no big deal. It was a very different time. Now, sometimes my mom would give us money, and she would say, hey, I'll give y'all some money if you'll go down to Golden Pantry and get me some. Thank you.
Cigarettes.
She said, y'all can get your candy. You can get my cigarettes. I could go in. This was the best. I could go in. I was 8 years old. Walk in there and say, I'd like to
I was 10.
buy 3 cartons of Merit Menthol 100 Ultra Lights, please. And they would sell them to me.
Facts. Facts. Facts.
At some point, you had to have a note, right? Your mom had to write a note, and my mom would just write, Dear store. Sell my child 3 cartons of cigarettes. Love, Mom.
Mine would always, my stepmother would always write the list for me. Obviously knowing it is not my, and give me some money or give me a check and send me up to the store.
And she would give us the money. She would not let us back in the house. She would slide it under the door. We were not coming back in there. She was watching Dark Shadows, and we were not allowed to watch that. So we would leave our yard unattended with no bike helmets and no bubble wrap, and we would leave. And we would go to the candy store, the Golden Pantry, and we'd stop on the way down there at the playground. Very different playground from my kids' Gen Z playground that has wood chips on the ground. In case the child falls, they won't get a little bruise on them, right? What we have? Just a giant sheet of cement.
Yep.
You fell, you broke your arm, suck it up, welcome to the playground.
With little
We had
rocks
equipment
all
that
over
would
it.
kill you. We had that swing set that came up out of the ground. It would kill you. We had that merry-go-round thing that would go, and you'd run, and there was always one friend that just didn't make it.
You run and spin as fast as you can. Everybody jumps on. There's always one that's gonna drag the leg and not. Yeah.
They got like sucked into the rain hole somehow. Like, save yourself. With the spring horse thing, and it would go all the way to it hit the back of your head, and then it would fling you forward, and you'd hit your face. Hit your head. Hit your face.
Oh,
Our horsey part came off. We had a metal knob. It just went back and forth. Oh my God. And we had a slide that was so different. My kid's Gen Z slide is at an angle like that. Ends at a little soft pile of wood chips.
Ours burnt the fuck out of your legs.
We all had that giant metal slide, just 90-degree angle. Just sat there in the sunshine.
Burn!
Just heating up.
Don't-
Athens, Georgia in August. It wasn't even a
Midwest.
slide anymore. It was just a broiler pan for your ass. So we would take our burns and our wounds from the playground, and we would go on down to the candy store, and we would go down there. And candy was very different back then. Candy was mean to children. It was mean to us. We had atomic fireballs, lemon heads, just pixie sticks. It was just a straw filled with sand and sugar.
Sugar.
Right? And you would eat it like this, and then your spit would seal the end.
Had to bite it off.
So then you have to eat the paper and everything. Right? with the entire family of wax candies. Wax lips and bottles, 4 bottles, 4 colors, tasted all exactly the same. You bite off the top and you suck out that really yummy juice, right?
Yeah,
And then you're
that
supposed
liquid.
to chew on the bottle, which was like eating a birthday candle. Yum.
It's wax.
There was a family of wax paper wrapped candies like a Nowlator or a bit of honey.
It was some kind of Halloween promotion.
And you could almost get all the paper off.
That one
But there was
piece.
always that one piece that the machine just jammed up in there. So what do we do with that? Eat it. Yes, we did. We're eating wax. We're eating paper. And don't get me started on that toilet paper roll with the dots on it. Don't get me started on that. That's just mean to children. Mean. And then there was the family of jewelry candy. Oh, it was awesome.
The sucker
Pops.
ring.
We're engaged. And then there was a candy necklace that came on a rubber band about that big. You kind of got it over your head.
And you eat
You
it.
eat like this. So you just had a rainbow of spit, just a spit rainbow coming all down you. And then your friend would come over and bite one off and her spits on you too.
Bad part about it is they still sell that shit.
So then we'd go around and we'd get my mom's real cigarettes and we'd get our candy cigarettes, which they don't sell now because it might lead to smoking. And my favorite 2 kinds were the hard white stick that had red on the end because someone painted fire on the for us to eat. And then the bubblegum kind you could pull out and blow real smoke. Right, so we would just stand out there
Right?
in front of the golden pantry, just smoking our candy cigarettes and
Oh boy.
wearing our candy jewelry.
Looking cool.
We were just little candy hookers and no one knew where we were. But it was the best of times. It was the best place to grow up, right here in Athens, Georgia. One of these things is that we are strong people. We didn't even need sunscreen.
I want to add something to that too. Because in my day, you could go wherever you wanted or whatever, do whatever you wanted, but you better be within yelling distance of your parents' voice. That was the problem occasionally.